the best quarterbacks and which NFL player could star on both sides of the ball. This is the best hour of television you will watch all day. This is NFL Total Access. Welcome into NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz, and you are in for a treat today because our analysts today are highly experienced, highly knowledgeable, and highly opinionated, which makes for one heck of a show because for some reason, they don't seem to agree on much. All right, our special guest today, a two-time Pro Bowl linebacker who spent 13 years in the NFL with 4 teams. He started in Washington, he finished in Buffalo, and ended up right here on NFL Total Access. He is Lorenzo Alexander, and there he is, alongside Super Bowl winner Michael Robinson. This right here, 1 part colleagues, 2 parts combatants. This should be good. Are y'all ready for this?
Always.
Let's get it,
MJ. All right, let's get it going then with the latest out of New Orleans, courtesy of our good friend, Cam Jordan. The Saints defensive end stopped by Good Morning Football earlier today. As usual, Cam had a lot to say, including this in regards to who might be under center in the Big Easy come Week 1 versus the Packers.
At the end of the day, it's all about who's going to put us in the best position of winning. I do know that we have a baller in Jameis Winston, a guy who can release that thing in the air. It's bombs headed Jameis's way. I mean, he's going to take deep shots. He's going to take a lot of deep throws. And at the same time, he's had a year under Sean's tutelage and watching Drew Brees. So he's only going to get better in my mind. Then, of course, you talk about Taysom. And after last year, we went 3-1 with him. So we know we can win at a high clip with him. It's going to be fun and interesting to see who ends up being the lead quarterback, if that is such a discussion. It's beyond my pay grade. And I like to say not many things are beyond my pay grade. But that is.
Of course. Always with the full scouting report there, Cam Jordan. All right, so we heard Cam, but who do you guys think will be the Saints starting QB Week 1 versus the Packers, Lorenzo?
I'm going to go with Winston. I've had an opportunity to play against him, watch him compete over the last couple of years. And for me, he's the more complete quarterback, be able to stand from the pocket and make plays with his arms. Of course, everybody's going to talk about the turnovers, but he puts up touchdowns, puts up the yards. And I really think sitting behind Drew Brees last year, being with Sean Payton, having a chance to kind of sit back and be humbled in a lot of ways, on top of getting his eyes fixed, I think he's going to have an elite year this year and be able to step into that position. And I think oftentimes we need that, especially when we've been the apex predator, the top guy all the time. Sometimes you got to take a step back, reevaluate who you are as a person and a quarterback, and then you get that second opportunity. So I think he's definitely going to do a job as far as earning that position because Taysom Hill, to me, is more of a change-up guy and doesn't have the same skill set as Jameis does.
Yeah, Zoe, I agree with you. I think Taysom is a change-up guy, first of all. Second of all, welcome to the show, man. Total Access, man. Love to see you here, man. We went up against each other a lot, man, so I love seeing you here. But yeah. I like how you like to just gloss over that Jameis Winston part. Oh, I know people like to talk about his turnovers. Huh? 30-1 season, dog. Come on, man. You can't just gloss over that. If you play on defense, you know exactly how it feels to have to go back on the field after multiple turnovers and turning the ball over. And then if you truly listen to what Cam Jordan said, what he said when he talked about Jameis Winston, we know Jameis like to throw it downfield. It's bombs coming Jameis' way. It seems like to me Jameis hadn't got all of that stuff out of his system. And I know Sean Payton is a heck of a teacher. He's a quarterback guru. But I'm sorry, man. This man is been in the league for a while. He is what he is now. Just looking at the options that they have, obviously I'd go with Jameis Winston. I think he gives this offense a better opportunity to, score points and things like that. But we can't gloss over those turnovers at all. And I do think there's a leadership component here, guys, that they're missing with Drew Brees walking out of the door for retirement. I'm not too sure Jameis Winston can be the same leader that a Drew Brees can be.
Well, Jameis is definitely matured, and you can't but help mature being around a great leader like Drew Brees, or he wouldn't be that type of guy. Now, going back to the interceptions, we know quarterbacks are always going to be judged by that, how to take care of the football, right? But we also know that all these turnovers aren't his fault. We know wide receivers drop balls, tip balls. If we remember last year, Tampa Bay drafted Tristan Wirfs, right? So their offensive line wasn't that great either. So you have a guy now there in Tampa Bay that's protecting a quarterback that's there where he's getting hit, throwing an errant ball. So if you can compilate all those things, and I had a guy that I played with down there that was coaching him, said probably about half of those were his fault. The other ones were tip balls, getting hit as you're throwing it. And so all 30 of those interceptions were on Jameis. And I think being behind a better offensive line, sitting back now and understanding what he needs to do, growing with Drew Brees, he's not going to throw 30 again. I mean, that's just crazy to throw for 30-something touchdowns and 30. That's going to be hard to repeat.
It is crazy, but I will say this, and this is what we talk about in the barbershop, dog. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Tampa Bay made one change. Seemed like they made one change.
Come on.
The quarterback.
No, they made a couple of changes.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying what it feels like.
So to your guys' points, let's stick with Jameis. Let's take Jameis Winston as a starter, right? Taysom has been dubbed Swiss Army knife for good reason, too.
Right.
But what do you think his role will be in 2020, Ron, given everything you've said, Emra?
I think it'll be the same as it was, right? I think it'll be him just coming in special situations. I think he'll have a package. I think depending on how Jameis Winston plays. Now, if Jameis Winston goes out there and does what my brother Zoe says and revives his career, he's learned some things from Drew Brees, then I think Taysom Hill's impact will be minimal. It'll be just whenever Sean Payton wants to do something special to the defense. But if Jameis Winston starts going out there and airmailing that ball to the other team, you're going to start seeing Taysom roll package go from like 5 to 10 a game to 60 the whole game. He'll be the starter.
Well, the great thing is that Coach over there has one of the most complex and lengthy playbooks in the league, so I'd be ready for anything if I were you guys. All right, let's keep it in the NFC South, shall we? Because since 2019, including the playoffs, no one has racked up more sacks than Tampa Bay's star outside linebacker, Shaq Barrett. He had 31 and a half QB takedowns. He was also a guest on today's GMFB and had this to say about personal and team expectations.
As a team, just trying to put the work in so we could be able to end up in the same position we was in last year. And for me personally, I'm trying to do something that's never been done as a defensive player. I want to win MVP. I want to win Defensive Player of the Year. Like I'm hungry for everything. It's a target on your back after you win that Super Bowl. Everybody knows, like, yeah, we're going to beat them. That's going to let us know where our season going to be at. So we most definitely going to put the groundwork in. We're not going to start relaxing. We know that with the coaches we have, they won't let us relax anyway. But we know the leaders on the team going to help us to maintain a steady course throughout the whole year and try to build on what we had last year, because the second half of the year we did turn it on. And if we could do that throughout all 17 games, we'd be in a great position.
Sweet Space Jam headband there. All right, so Todd Bowles arrives in Tampa in 2019 and turned the Buccaneers into the best run defense in football and a top 10 overall and scoring defense in 2020. So they're 8th in the NFL coming out of 2020 in points per game allowed. Compare that to where they were just one season prior when they ranked 29th. Proof is in the pudding, guys. Numbers don't lie. How important is Todd Bowles to the Bucs' success and to getting another Super Bowl title, though?
Extremely important. And I'll tell you this, Bruce Arians trusts Todd Bowles immensely. I played for Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians in 2013 and 14 down in AZ. And I don't think I ever saw BA come into the meeting room once. And that's really unheard of for a head coach not to come in. And that's because Todd Bowles is a great coordinator. He trusts him. He has a great staff, and he doesn't have an ego. He always wants the best plan out there. And then put his players in the best position, right? He's not trying to fit a circle into a square. And what I mean by that is that he is adjusting his scheme. It's a great scheme, but he's going to adjust it to the skill set of his players. And that's what he's always going to do. And then you're always going to see a great wrinkle or 3 or 4 wrinkles on third down where he can take advantage of protections or try to find that goose that's sitting on that offensive line that can't block nobody and try to exploit them and be able to get these sacks that we're seeing that the Tampa Bay defensive line is being able to put up over these last couple of years.
Well, Zoe, to your point, man, that's what great coaches do, man. They put their players in the best situation to, show off their strengths. Why would you make a guy drop in coverage when his biggest strength is to rush the quarterback? And Todd Bowles does a great job of that. How is this guy not a head coach right now? How? Like him and Byron Leftwich. I don't know. If I knew the answer to that, I'd be a very, very rich man. But what I'm saying is this, guys. Todd Bowles, you talk about Zoe, Bruce Arians not going into the meeting room. Every coach I've been a part of, every head coach I've played for goes into every meeting room and makes sure that things are being taught the right way. You just don't see that when you have a lot of trust in your defense coordinator and your coordinators like Bruce Arians has in a Todd Bowles. But you talked about something that happens that he likes to do on third down. He likes to mix his blitzes up and things like that. I remember being a back playing against you guys in Arizona and playing against Todd Bowles' defenses. And it is nerve-wracking to be on third down and be in a 7 or 8 man protection, and he only rushed 3 guys, man. I mean, bro, like all of your eligible receivers are in blocking, and it just confuses everybody. And he does it at the right time, so in championship moments, and it's a big reason why they have a championship today.
It's just smooth. I love that we're getting love to the defense, especially that Bucs defense. We saw how they were lights out at the Super Bowl. But we couldn't end a Bucs chat without bringing up Tom Brady, right? Y'all knew that was happening. He was up in Montana recently with some ringers, subbing in for a few of his former star receivers.
You ready, Welker?
Let's go!
Go!
Nice catch, Wesley!
Throw, Tommy. You ready, Edelman?
You already know!
Go!
It's a little faux leather detail. Listen, 2021, we're ready at SoFi Stadium. I like it. You guys dig it? All right, then head over to ramsnewlook.com, ramsnewlook.com, and then you can check it out. You know who else is going to be rocking this jersey? Well, take a look at this.
I be on my beast mode. Beast mode. You don't want to see the beast go. Beast go. To a zone with a beast show. Beast show. I keep coming in increase mode.
Let's go, Cattle.
Increase mode. I be on my beast mode. Beast mode. You don't want to see the beast go. Beast go. To a zone with a beast show. Beast show. I keep coming in increase mode. Increase mode. I be on my beast mode.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to Rams in just a minute. They're in that second spot. But the Steelers are actually the only team with 50 or more sacks in 4 straight seasons since 1990. But yes, it was the 2020 Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald, who led the Rams' #1 scoring and total defense. Let's get it over to M-Rob and Zoe for his top 5 defensive lines.
All right, so let's hear it, man. Let's hear your top 5 defensive lines in the NFL right now.
Here we go. So at number 5, I have the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, in the offseason, J.J. Watt joins Chandler Jones. Both of these guys ranked 1 and 2 in sacks since Chandler Jones got in the league at 2012. Chandler has 97 sacks and J.J. Watt has 95. This is going to be a great addition, I think, in combination. You can no longer just key in on Chandler. You have to worry about J.J. And I think it's also going to help out Jordan Phillips come alive, who they signed last year in free agency, as well as adding Marcus Golden as well. Number 4, we got the Steelers. T.J. Watt, Cameron Haywood, Tuitt, big physical guys. Offensive lines always know after they've played them, because they feel a little bit more sore after. I mean, just the culture and stuff they've established over the years is they continue to step up and play out, and we just saw that they're leading in sacks over the last 4 years. And number 3, I have the Rams. Any defensive line that has Aaron Donald on it, the most dominant football player in the league, is going to be on this list because he makes everybody around them better. I had a chance to play with a guy, Kyle Williams, who did that for me, and I ended up with 12.5 sacks. So guys go there, play with him, get paid, and they're consistently putting out big-time sacks, sack fumbles, and being just disruptive in the run and pass game. And here's going to get a little bit of some controversy because we talked about Tampa Bay at number 2. We talked about them earlier, how dominant they were in the Super Bowl, led by Levante David, Golston, and Sue. Those big D tackles in the middle really allowing those guys to get the one-on-ones on the outside. Those guys have been dominant, creating great pressure that we saw last year in the Super Bowl, and it really was the difference in why they won it, chasing down Patty Mahomes and ultimately winning a championship. And at number 1, I got the Washington football team. Man, these dudes are loaded. They're young, scrappy, and hungry, baby. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Payne, and then you got Settle coming off the bench. These guys not only play the run and the pass well, these guys are flying down on screens and passes downfield, getting some big-time hits. We saw Chase Young do that constantly. And because they haven't quite won one yet, they just hungry and trying to chase after it, and they're going to be the most dominant defensive line this year.
Ooh, Zoe, you got excited talking about the Washington football team. Look like you want to jump back out there and rush the passer again with them boys. That what it look like, man.
I don't know, man. I feel like I can run down on kickoff right now, too, at that 3. You know what I mean? That's how I'm feeling right now after talking about this.
Yeah.
You know about that.
I remember you on that 3, big dog. I remember you on that 3. But you know what? I love your list, big dog. Love your list. I may have thought about Cleveland when you talk about Myles Garrett, the guy that they have out there. Maybe thinking about, possibly, what's the other team I'm talking about? The Niners, possibly, with Nick Bosa. Right. I know they have some injuries that they're coming back from. But I can't argue with your list, big dog. We're going to throw this thing back on over to MJ. MJ, we ain't arguing on this one too much. We're not arguing too much.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that there's no arguing, but I'm here for it. All right, guys, thank you. Okay, coming up next on Total Access, 32 NFL teams, 8 NFL divisions, 1 NFL question. Which division can claim the top spot in terms of starting quarterbacks? We'll meet you at the corner of dynamism and depth. That's next.
Oh, I've travelled all over, telling folks they could save by bundling home and car insurance. But here's the real secret. Eye contact. We just had a moment.
Geico. When you find the style that matches your own, you'll see all the right pieces come together. Explore the showrooms of style at Lowe's.
You never call,
Baby?
Daydreaming again? But I love you still.
You know I'm driving.
Only 6% of U.S. retail businesses have a Black owner. That needs to change. So I did something.
70% rather of players league-wide have had at least one shot. So second shots or single Johnson & Johnson shots are needed by today to be fully vaccinated and avoid major restrictions when most teams report to camp on July 27th. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, as the franchise tag deadline this Thursday nears, the Bears and wide receiver Allen Robinson are not expected to reach a long-term extension. It appears that Robinson will play on his $17.8 million tag for 2021. Russell Wilson getting back to work after his Venice vacation, posting this Instagram post. Caption, they sleeping, we working, let them dream. Adam Shine, he's been working too, as he presents the top 8 divisions based on the guys under center. So Shine says the NFC West has the best QBs with Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray, and Jimmy Garoppolo / Trey Lance. Right behind him, the other West division in the AFC with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, and Drew Lock, Teddy B combination there. All right, we love a good midsummer list, guys, but do you agree with Adam Shine? Is the NFC West the best division based on their quarterbacks? Lorenzo, you go first.
I'm going to have to disagree. I mean, obviously I love Russell Wilson. I've seen Kyler Murray. He has a lot of potential, but they still haven't lived up to it if you look at it from across the board. So I'm actually going to have to rock with the AFC North. Lamar Jackson, MVP. Joe Burrow, future MVP, the way he played last year was real dominant. Baker Mayfield helps a Cleveland team win their first playoff game in who knows how many years. And then I know my man is going to hate on Big Ben, but Big Ben was balling out last year. Everybody forgets how they started the season. They just remember how they finished. And that was more of an identity issue. It really wasn't Big Ben. It was more of an identity issue, them getting away from running the ball. So I'm going to have to rock with the AFC North.
Oh, look, big dog. I don't know. I almost stopped listening after you said no. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Russell Wilson, we was talking about MVP at the beginning of last year. Finished the season strong.
I like Russell.
You said Russell. You know Matthew Stafford. Yeah. You know Matthew Stafford's in that division now, right? You know that, right? You talking about a guy, Matthew Stafford, who's averaged almost.
How many playoff wins does he have? Okay.
He's averaged almost 300 passing yards a game. Hey, look, we're not talking about the best teams, though, okay? I think you might have misunderstood the question. The question was the best
your quarterback sends you to another level. It takes you to another level. Your great quarterbacks take you to another level.
They take you to another level. That's what it is. So what you telling me is it wasn't Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt that got that Cleveland Browns team over the hump. It was all Baker Mayfield.
It helped. That helped. That was a part of it. It helped.
Oh,
but Baker was out there tossing that rock around as well. We know that. Come on now, we understand that. Look,
you don't believe that. I
yes,
can see it in you.
I watched the game.
After
OBJ went out.
It has to be the NFC
OBJ
West.
went out last year, he started distributing the ball all the way around. It seemed a much different quarterback. So he got better as the year went on. For whatever reason that was kind of associated when OBJ stepped out. Now, we saw him develop and really take that next step last year as far as Baker Mayfield is concerned. But if you want to go that way, I mean, let's match them up. Okay, let's say Ben and Russell, right? Ben and Russell cancel each other out. Let's say Kyler and Lamar. Who
no,
you
they
going
don't.
with? Lamar
He way
Kyler.
better than Ben. He way better than Ben.
I know.
I'm taking Lamar.
Not way better. Not way better. But okay, Kyler and Lamar.
I'm taking Lamar.
All right, Lamar. Thank you. Jimmy G and Joe, or Matthew Stafford and Joe. Joe, thank you.
I'm taking Matthew Stafford and Jimmy G. I'm taking Matthew Stafford and Jimmy G.
No, you're not. No, you thought too long. If you was really convicted in your thing, you would have came right away. You thought too long.
It's called a delay, Zoe. It's called a delay.
No.
Come on.
Now, it was
we on TV across the country.
I don't got a delay over here. There ain't no delay going over here.
You got to stop this. MJ, you
oh, no,
got to stop
I'm enjoying this very, very much. You know, they pay me to be a TV host, not a referee. But along those lines, so what division do you guys think will surprise us based on their QBs, since we've thrown out a lot of different names here? So
I don't know if this is much surprise, but I think the AFC South is going to be another solid year. I mean, Watson and Tanner Hill did a great job. Lawrence is going to be a rookie, and you never know what you're going to get out of him, but understanding his talent level and what he brings to the game, I think he's going to definitely ascend that team and really step on the field and play well early in his career. And then I love Carson Wentz. I know people ain't going to like this because of what happened in Philly, but the last time Carson Wentz was playing like the elite quarterback that we know that's in there somewhere was with Frank Reich. And so that's who's down there with the Colts. I believe in Frank, that relationship, and I think he's really going to step back up and be that quarterback that we saw a couple of years ago when they were on their way to getting the Super Bowl before he got hurt in that process.
Now, Zoe, I think you're just trying to debate with me, brother. I think you are. Because how can you talk about the AFC North in the last conversation? And I was with you. I was with you with the AFC North. I can dig that. That's a conversation. I get it. But you're talking about the AFC South, and we don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson? What? What are you talking about, man?
Ain't nothing happened lately. I don't know. I ain't heard nothing. I'm assuming a good thing is going to happen. I ain't heard nothing about it. Ain't no chatter, no Twitter, no nothing. So if you know something I don't know, let us know right now.
We don't know. All I'm saying is I'm going to say the NFC North because I think this is Aaron Rodgers last year. And if he don't play this year, which if I was him, I wouldn't because you made all this noise. You see what I'm saying?
Now we don't know about him.
For the Vikings will surprise some people. Huh? What you mean?
How you going to say we don't know and then you say Aaron Rodgers out of your mouth first? We don't know what he going to do.
Because he's under contract.
So how do we know
he's
if
under contract? He ain't got no legal issues going on. He don't got no legal issues going on. He gonna have to retire.
He don't want to play
He gonna have to retire.
He doesn't want to play for him.
He gonna have to retire, though. He gonna have to retire.
Carson Palmer retired. Aaron got back now. Don't act like Aaron's legacy is intact. MVP, Super Bowl champion. He can do whatever he wants to right now. So all the leverage is in his corner. So we don't know.
You know, if I didn't have 30 minutes of live television, I'd be munching on some popcorn because this is too good. Hypothetical questions, but very real answer. Thanks, guys. All right, there is nothing shady about LaShawn McCoy's career. The guy has racked up 6 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl rings, and exactly 15,000 scrimmage yards. And you can cool it with all the retirement talk because according to LaShawn, he's not done yet. We'll let him explain next. Leading a stellar list that includes Frank Gore, Adrian Peterson, Julio Jones, and Antonio Brown. Unbelievable. And here he is, LaShawn McCoy in the house today, joined by his former teammate, Lorenzo Alexander, back in 2016 to 2018 in Buffalo. What's up, LaShawn? Good to have you here.
Oh, not much. I like to see them numbers. They look pretty good.
Very
yeah,
good.
man, I love it, man. Too many of those yards was against me when I was in Washington, though. So that's the only reason why I don't like it as much.
I was waiting for the shade.
That is true.
I had to beat him to the punch. I knew he was going to get me.
Right off the bat. I love it. Now, LaShawn, you spent the last 2 seasons on Super Bowl winning rosters in KC and Tampa Bay, albeit with some injury issues there. But you tweeted out this from the ESPYs after the Bucs won for the best team. My guys, ESPY Wave 100. What are your hopes for 2021 this season, and where do you see fitting in best?
Well, I've had some talks with my agent, Drew Rosenhaus. I was contemplating retirement, and I had some teams reach out. And I think right now it's just all about this being in shape, being ready for call, and also the right role, the right fit. I want to go to a team where I can compete. I want to go to a team where I could contribute and make a playoff, hopefully championship run. That's the biggest thing. I think from winning 2 championships, it's hard to go to a team where you don't see anything happening. That's something that I think when I wind my career down and I'm about to finish out, I want to go so I can have some fun and win.
Yeah, Shady. So you've had a lot of growth through your career. You're definitely a different player than you was when I played against you in Washington, even as a teammate. And there's a lot of great running backs out there right now. You, Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore. What does a guy like yourself bring to a team? What type of value does that look like?
I think it's first of all, myself, my skill set. I've been through all the hard, tasks in the league. I've been asked to do so many things about blocking, running, catching, doing all different things. Now I'm a little older, so I'm a lot smarter. And I know how to teach they might have a young kid that's upcoming star where I can teach him, man, how to be a pro, how to be the best, how to be a guy to be a franchise running back. And also a leader. That's something I've grown into, being a leader for my teams, man, and being a great teammate. Those things that people don't understand. And I think that's something that I really could bring to the table if I'm brought in. A veteran that wants to win, knows how to win, and how to be a great teammate and leader.
Since we're basically amongst family here, we're going no filter. So, Lorenzo, you spent 3 years with Shady in Buffalo. Can you tell us a little something that we may not know about him?
Don't tell him the secrets. Don't tell him everything about him.
Yeah, I'm not going to break no secrets on him, but he's a very unique person, right? And so Shady, anytime you walk into the locker room, you was going to hear him in some type of argument. I don't care about greatest running backs, greatest receivers, but the most infamous, type of conversation was about who, right? He think he can hoop. You can even see it in the open. He did like a Euro step, opening it up, right? So Shady, with all those arguments going on, who you think is going to win this NBA championship with the Suns? That's where I'm out here, and the Milwaukee Bucks. What is your outlook on that?
Well, it's a great matchup. I think 2 great teams, 2 teams that's dying to win a championship. You look at the Greek Freak and the Bucks, where they're constantly knocking on the door. They came up short the last couple of years and put up some big numbers and some success in the regular season. You look at Greek Freaks, I think his second year as an MVP, that's major. He wants to capitalize on that and win the championship. But then also, I'm a huge fan of Booker. I mean, the way he plays, his pull-up game, his 3 balls, how efficient he is offensively. And then you look at that team, how they play a lot of small ball, and they like the 3 ball up. And I'm a huge fan of Chris Paul. By the way, shout out to Chris Paul. He gave a couple tickets back in the day to the Clippers. But I like a guy, man, who did all the hard work, his whole career, and now it's time to capitalize on that and get a ring. It's hard to win. People, they forget, man, how hard these leagues are, from football and basketball and et cetera. It's hard to win, and I think that would be great for his career to go out there and win a championship. So I'm really pulling for the Suns. I really am.
I didn't think you were going to call it. Good. I'm glad you picked the team decisively.
I give you both sides.
I see you there. All right, taking it back to football for a sec, because LaShawn, someday, life on the gridiron is going to be behind you. Have you thought about what life after football looks like for you?
Oh, for sure. Me and my brother, we're doing very, very well in the real estate world. We call them McCoy Boys, and we probably have about 66 units. And now we're doing developing, and we're actually getting involved with different things from multi-units to I'm freezing up right now. Oh man, opportunity zones. Opportunity zones where we're going into these areas that U.S. government has outlined. To kind of fix up as far as inner city areas, the urban areas, things like that, and and getting the developers to go in and fix these places. And I come from the area, so that works out for me. And also, commentating. It's something I love, talk about the game. Zote said it earlier, how I'm always arguing about sports, from football to basketball. And that's something that I love. I'm passionate about the game. I've been playing since I've been 4 or 5 years old. So just to be around the game, and that's something that I really look forward to doing. So you never know. You might catch me calling the game soon. You come on the screen doing this, you're all upset. So I'm actually excited for that journey. I really am.
No, that's awesome, man. And I know you kind of contemplate whether or not you want to continue to play or retire. And I know that's always a hard internal struggle. But whether that happens, what type of legacy do you want to leave behind? For the next generation, for the young fans out there, that when they remember LeSean McCoy, what you brought to the game.
When I think of legacy, man, I look at it in so many different dimensions. Seriously, like I look at how the legacy of being one of the best running backs to play this game. I think my style of play, it only comes around every couple of years. You never find a guy that's shifty like me, not real big, but can block, can catch, can be real shifty. Run with one hand on the ball. That's probably never happened again. But yeah. And then when you look at now I'm older. I look at the guys like Fournette and Rojo. All the young guys I've been around. And even teammates with the Bucs, like teaching them different things. How when I wasn't a star guy or the main guy or the all-pro or the running champion, still contributing, helping them out. Maybe not getting a carry, but still teach them how to run the ball, what to look for, how to read the defense. Things like that you don't even think about. Where the first thing might be, oh, Shea was a great running back. But then to somebody else, like, yo, he was a super coach. He helped me out when I was down, when the game was so fast and so hard. All them type of things. And also I look as a parent, with my children and being a leader like my father. My mom and dad married for about 33 years. Actually, my birthday was yesterday. So and seeing how my father was in my life, he helped me out to be who I am today. So I look at legacy, so many different things. Now I'm praying, hopefully, that with the 15,000 yards and all that touchdowns and all them stats, I'll get me a gold jacket. You never know. You know how it goes, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's always restful. Happy belated birthday, a backfield legend, real estate tycoon. Let's talk about these low mortgage interest rates. We'll talk about that offline.